Hey, HTG crew, what's up? What's up? So close to another major championship week, guys. Open championship right around the corner. Get pumped. Until then, we got another week of mediocre PGA Tour golf, I'll say. A lot of the best players in the world this week actually be playing over in Scotland at the Scottish Open. So this week for the John Deere Classic, we do not have the strongest field, as you might imagine. But hey, last week at Rocket Mortgage, shout out to Adam, listener of the podcast, solo 6th place finish, and some high stakes single entry on Draftkings. That's good shit. Love to see that stuff. Keep the train moving, brother. Hopefully we got the picks for you this week at the John Deere. So last week at the Rocket Mortgage, Cam Davis just came on absolutely on fire. I mean, to close that tournament, eagling the 17th by holding out a bunker shot, then closes with a birdie on 18 to get himself into that playoff at 18 under, and is able to out-survive Troy Merritt in that 5-hole playoff. So, I mean, a guy who we play frequently here at the HTG pod. Unfortunately, we didn't have Cam Davis this past week, but we've played him plenty, and he's paid off for us plenty in the past. So, really happy to see Cam Davis break through with his first career PGA Tour victory. He won that playoff again over Troy Merritt in 5 holes, but Joaquin Niemann was also in that playoff. Niemann made bogey on the first playoff hole, which is especially interesting. I'll get to that in a little bit, but was eliminated after the first playoff hole. Today, I should have gotten to what I'm smoking. I'm so used to not smoking on the podcast lately. It's like I forgot that section. But I am going to spark up today. I'm going to spark up some ice cream cake. Growers Humboldt Farms. It's an indica, testing at 19.29% THC. Hopefully it doesn't make me too sleepy, because I got more shit I want to do today, including entering some Draftkings contests for PGA. Both probably PGA Tour, and maybe I'll play a little bit of Scottish Open, play a little bit of Euro Tour with all the big names playing over there. But I'll definitely have some monies allocated toward the John Deere as well. Let's go ahead and get sparked up. All right, so yeah, again, great to see Cam Davis get a win. Phenomenal, really, really good young talent on tour. So not a surprise at all that, Davis, especially in a field that wasn't the strongest last week at Rocket Mortgage, is able to break through with his first victory. The guy who I thought might pull it off down the stretch was a guy that we owned in DraftKings last week quite a bit. Hank Lebioda, man. That dude's been playing phenomenal golf. And he played 4 really good rounds again this past week. All 4 rounds, I believe, were under 70. I think maybe actually his second round he shot a 70, but regardless, he played great golf all week and really had a great chance to win the tournament down the stretch, but wasn't able to make birdie on any of his final 5 holes, including on the par 5 17th, where he had a 38-footer for eagle and 3-jacked it for par. The absolute worst. I hate it when that happens. So Lebioda finished 17 under. 1 shot back of that 3-man playoff, so a tie for 4th. But still, I mean, that guy, he's been balling lately, so we'll be taking a look at him this week as well for the John Deere. And I mentioned I'd get back to that bogey Niemann made in the first playoff hole that eliminated him. Joaquin Niemann this past week at Rocket Mortgage became the 3rd player in PGA Tour history to complete 72 holes in regulation without recording a bogey. Yeah, over the first 72 holes, he did not make a bogey. He went bogey-free en route to shooting 18 under, and then immediately on the first playoff hole, what an inopportune time to make the first bogey of the week. But yeah, Niemann joins JT Poston and Lee Trevino as the only other players in PGA Tour history to complete an event in regulation without making a bogey. That's fucking unreal, especially for a guy who doesn't have a very good around-the-green game. Niemann was just on fire with the ball striking. So certainly, victories are on the doorstep for Niemann. This kid is uber talented, one of the most talented young players in the game. If he can figure it out around the green and run hot with the putter, He's live to win events, especially events, as I've mentioned already. As weak as really the Rocket Mortgage was last week. It was not a very strong field ultimately, so wouldn't have been surprised at all if a guy like Neiman could have pulled it off. All right, let's get into the John Deere. I'm going to get a little bit of water. Oh. I'm also going to drop the joint on the ground. Okay, 2021 John Deere Classic. We are at, as we always are for the John Deere Classic, TPC Deere Run in Silvis, Illinois. Par 71, 7,268 yards. And we're on bent greens again this week. So third week in a row, we're playing a relatively short golf course, even when adjusted for par here, par 71. We're playing on bent greens. It's going to be similar to what we've seen at Rocket Mortgage and Travelers. So we're really targeting the same types of players that we've been targeting the last couple weeks. And players that have played well over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to weigh that a bit heavier because I do think stylistically this golf course will be similar. A birdie fest where you don't have to be super long off the tee. So a lot of similarities I could draw, and same green surfaces as well over the last 3 weeks. Dylan Fratelli shot 21 under. He's defending his 2019 title. We did not have a 2020 version of this event due to COVID. And as I mentioned, most of the top players in the world are over at the Scottish Open this week. So, I mean, this field is not great at all. And that's really evident by the players we have up here in the top shelf. So don't be surprised. I mean, the price tags next to these guys are going to be like the highest they will be all season because of how weak this field is. So don't get sticker shock too easily, I guess I should say, because everyone's price tag's inflated. Because, yeah, just none of the studs are here, really. Weather forecast for this week in Silvis. They're actually calling for rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So definitely be prepared for weather delays. We caught some weather delays last week as well. Nothing we're not used to at this point. If you want an AM or PM stack, I'm okay with doing either, but I don't really see any favorable wind conditions out of either pool. Maybe one pool gets a softer golf course if they come out after a weather delay, after, a pretty lengthy rain delay. But, it's always viable to AM or PM tee time stack if you'd like. But I'm not seeing a particular advantage this week. And with there being rain called for on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I expect a softer golf course. This is going to be an absolute birdie fest, as it usually is. These guys will surpass 20 under par, the winner will, in all likelihood. So you're going to need golfers that can gain strokes on approach, can make some putts, and make birdies in bunches. Guys that grind for par, they're not the type of folks that we want this week. So the statistical model that we went ahead and plugged into fantasynational.com this week, strokes gained approach, opportunities gained, par fours, 400 to 450 yards, strokes gained on those holes, as well as strokes gained putting. My winner is in the mid-shelf, one of the more expensive mid-shelf players. Let me know in the YouTube comments who you think is going to win the 2021 John Deere Classic, as well as who you think my winner of the event is. We'll see if you can get it right. Man, we're still stuck on 2 winners this year, so let's see if I can get it right. It's time. It's time. Get our 3rd winner of the year. Feeling good about it. Again, my winner is in the mid-shelf. Withdrawals this week, Eric Van Rooyen has withdrawn again, back-to-back events now, and Charlie Belgian has withdrawn. So if you were playing either of those guys, which you weren't, but if you were somehow, get them out your lineups, and we can get right into the top shelf plays. Top shelf plays $10,000 or more in DraftKings salary. The first top shelf play is the second highest priced player in this field. It's pretty crazy. It's Sung Jae Im. $10,700 price tag, 16.1% projected ownership. Sung Jae coming in the custom model 9th. 5th on approach in this field over the last 12 measured rounds. 12th in birdies or better gained. And that's actually another category that we did sprinkle in this week that should have been included in the statistical model. I'll make sure to update that for the quickie article. And as a matter of fact, let me make a note right here. because we are also looking at birdies or better gained this week, and that is a statistic where, again, Sungjae is performing well, 12th in this field over the last 12 measured rounds, 36th in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards. As I mentioned last week, Sungjae was a play that we liked last week at Rocket Mortgage. The ball striking has turned around. Sungjae gaining both off the tee and on approach. That's when we like to take Sungjae. The one thing I would have liked to see would be us being on Bermuda green surfaces. Sungjae's win obviously came down at Honda. He seems to putt better on Bermuda. Just has a better feel on those green surfaces. Us being on bent grass greens is the only sort of it's more of a tiebreaker thing anyway, but the only sort of downside I could see to this not being a week to fire up Sungjae at such a high price tag at $10,700. But in the field this week, ball striking's been good recently. I like myself some Sungjae Yim. Again, $10,700 price tag, 16.1% projected ownership. The ownership on this next guy in the price tag is truly baffling, but he's been, great, especially with the short game. Brian Harman, $10,400 price tag, 21.2% projected ownership. Ever since we talked about playing Harman at the Masters, where he came through for us with top 5 finish, this guy's just continued to play fantastic golf and churn out amazing results. This dude's putter has been nuclear hot. He's ranking out first in the custom model, 5th in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 16th on approach, 31st in opportunities gained, and 11th in birdies or better gained. For those who don't know what opportunities gained are, that is a birdie or better opportunity from 20 feet or closer. So yeah, you're getting yourself some good putts at birdies if you're gaining opportunities. Now, whether or not you're making those birdies is, of course, a function of how well or not you're putting, but we just want to identify those folks that are giving themselves those opportunities to convert birdies, which you're going to need in bunches this week, as I already mentioned. So, Brian Harman rating out phenomenally, won this event back in 2014, I believe. Yeah, and so obviously course history checks out for him. Anytime you're playing a golf course where, you don't need to be especially long off the tee, you sort of want to be accurate and make some putts, Brian Harman's live. So I definitely like myself some Brian Harman as our other top shelf play, $10,400 price tag, 21.2% projected ownership. It's high, but Harman does justify in this field particularly, I think, going to. And that's it for the top shelf guys. There's only 4 players priced above $10,000. The players that I didn't mention were Daniel Berger and last week's champion Cameron Davis. For Berger, I would just rather save the money to go to Sungjae or Harman. And for Cam Davis, coming off the win, first PGA Tour victory, I'm sure he's been doing some celebrating. I'm not exactly sure where the mentals are going to be. And to pay a price tag like this, fresh off the victory, I would rather fade. So Harman and Im are my top shelf plays. I'm going to respark, get a little more water, and we will get into our mid-shelf plays where this is where you should be living, guys, for this week. You really do want a balanced build. You don't want to have to dig down into the $6,000 range if you don't have to. I would really like to build my lineups, maybe the cheapest player I'll take this week will be $7,400. So that's especially why it's important, I think, to save that extra bit of salary moving down off of Daniel Berger to a Sungjae or a Brian Harman. All right, the first mid-shelf play is our winner of the event. It's Mr. Russell Henley, $9,900, 20% projected ownership. Yes, I like Henley to win this week. He came second in this event in 2019. He's been playing fantastic golf, coming in 3rd overall in the custom model, 15th on that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards. He's leading the field in strokes gained approach over the last 12 measured rounds, 17th in opportunities gained, so giving himself plenty of chances at birdies. Love myself some Russell Henley this week. The recent form's been great. The course fit is phenomenal, and obviously the course history great as well, coming second here in 2019. So let's go get a dub, Russell Henley. It's time to get us off the schneid. It's time to pick another winner, our 3rd of 2021. Let's hope it's Russell fucking Henley, folks. I also like Kevin Streelman, $9,700 price tag, 19.4% projected ownership. Streelman also been striking the ball phenomenally, coming in 5th in the custom model, 8th on that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 17th on approach, 23rd in opportunities gained. This is exactly what we want to see at this type of golf course. So Kevin Streelman looking like a great play as well, $9,700, 19.4% projected ownership. I was surprised to see the model love this next guy so much. Aaron Wise at a $9,200 price tag, coming in 2nd overall in the custom model, 2nd in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 9th on approach, 1st in birdies or better gained. He was cut from this event in 2018, became T16 in 2016, so does have a little bit of upside here at this event, and I mean, the recent form's been great, like sneaky good. I didn't realize how well Aaron Wise had been hitting the ball. So Aaron Wise, even at this $9,200 price tag, again, everyone has an inflated price tag because the field is so weak. Looking like a great play. I'll certainly be firing him up. 14.6% projected ownership. I have no concerns with that. Another guy who's been striking the ball really well and played extremely well last week, Seamus Power. Coming in 14th in the custom model, 2nd in strokes gained approach in this field over the last 12 measured rounds, 9th in birdies or better gained, 12th in opportunities gained. Again, this is the recipe that we're following this week. We want guys that can stuff the irons close and give themselves plenty of birdie opportunities. Now, whether or not they convert them, that's going to be a function of how the putter's rolling, but hopefully we can get a bit of putting luck this week and just target the guys that are hitting the ball close to the pin. Maverick McNeely at $8,800, my fellow Stanford alum, 14.9% projected ownership. Just seems to play these short golf courses really well. Played well both at Rocket Mortgage and at Travelers. So let's see if we can triple it down with Mav McNeely here at the John Deere. McNeely coming in 37th in the custom model, 26th in putting, 85th in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 53rd on approach, 26th in opportunities gained, and 13th in birdies or better gained. So the opportunities gained, this guy's making a lot of birdies. I mean, he's given himself opportunities, coming in 26th in opportunities gained, and he's also 13th in birdies or better gained, a function of him being 26th in putting. So he's given himself opportunities and he's putting well. That's a recipe for birdies, and the data's bearing that out. So let's see if we can ride that form for Matt McNeely at another shorter type golf course, a course that he should be able to attack like he has the courses the last couple weeks. Lost in that playoff last week, but I will go back to Troy Merritt this week at $8,700, 13.7% projected ownership, 21st overall in the custom model, 6th in putting, 27th on that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 44th on approach, 51st in opportunities gained, and 7th in birdies or better gained. Merritt was cut in 2019, became T43 in 2018, T60 in 2017, T56 in 2016, and arguably, has not been in better form coming into this event in the previous time in his career. So coming in really good form, has made the cut here 3 of his last 5 years. I like myself some Troy Merritt, $8,700 price tag, 13.7% projected ownership. Whenever we're at a short golf course, you can look to Zach Johnson, $8,500 price tag, 15.6% projected ownership. You can look to him so long as, the recent form's been solid, and it has for Johnson. Coming in 8th overall in the custom model. I mean, Johnson's been 6th in opportunities gained over the last 12 measured rounds, 14th in birdies or better gained, 21st in putting, 47th in approach, which is, not exactly what you want to see, but Johnson is a guy that can get nuclear hot with the putter and finish off long birdie opportunities. So, Zach Johnson, been playing some solid golf, has some solid finishes and results recently to show for it. I like him at this $8,500 price tag, 15.6% projected ownership. Our guy from last week, man, he really could have won that event. Hank Lebiota, $8,400 price tag, 17.3% projected ownership. I mean, he's just been playing great golf. 18th overall in the custom model, 1st in putting, riding this red hot putter, 1st in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 5th in birdies or better gained. He is coming in 49th in strokes gained approach and 60th in opportunities gained. But let's just ride the hot putter, old Hammer and Hank, and see what we can get. I mean, $8,400 in this field, honestly, for the recent form from Lebiota. To get a discount off of Zach Johnson for him is probably wrong. So yeah, I'm going to ride the recent form with Old Hammer and Hank Lebioda, $8,400 price tag, 17.3% projected ownership. A guy who just cannot putt, but is striking the ball really well. And I mean, we last saw him at the U.S. Open where he gained on approach. Jonathan Vegas, coming in 17th in the custom model. He's at $8,000 flat in DraftKings pricing, 13% projected ownership. I mean, 134th in putting is really what's dragging him down, but 49th in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 18th on approach, 9th in opportunities gained, and 20th in birdies or better gained in this field over the last 12 measured rounds. Those all certainly check out for me, especially at an $8,000 flat price tag. He hasn't played since the U.S. Open, so I would have liked to see him, at one of these previous two events. Would have been a good gauge, but, I mean, Vegas been striking the ball well. $8,000 price tag, seems fair. 13% projected ownership. I'll roll the dice on him this week. The short golf course darling, and the ownership's there again. Kyle Stanley, $7,900 price tag, 17.6% projected ownership. Stanley coming in 4th in the custom model. As always with Stanley, you can't putt. 123rd in strokes gained putting, but doing everything else really well. 3rd in opportunities gained, 6th in approach, 22nd in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards. So you know what the deal is with Stanley. If he can find some putting luck, right? If we're going to be team putting luck this week, then we should be captained by Kyle Stanley, honestly. Who does play these short golf courses really well. So I do like him a lot as a play this week. A guy who's also been playing these last couple events well, both Rocket Mortgage and Travelers, Beau Hossler, $7,800 price tag, 10.4% projected ownership, coming in 20th in the custom model, 41st in putting, 41st in that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 22nd in strokes gained approach, 54th in opportunities gained, and 17th in birdies or better gained. This guy's been making a ton of birdies. And as I mentioned, I don't see too many differences between the last couple golf courses we've seen and TPC Deere Run. They're going to be birdie fests. You don't have to be very long off the tee. Just give yourself solid angles into the greens. Hit your irons as close as you possibly can to these pin positions, and it turns into a putting contest. So if Kyle Stanley can turn around with the putter, I like him. Beau Hossler is actually who I was just talking about. And he's been putting, he has upside to do better than 41st in this field with the putter. Let's check the tournament history for Hossler. T26 in 2019. Okay, yeah. So Hossler looking good to me. And to round out the mid-shelf plays, a guy who seems to be returning to form, Chez Reavie, $7,500 price tag, feels too cheap. 11.3% projected ownership. I'm surprised more people aren't on Reavie. Just another guy who can't putt, 121st in this field over the last 12 measured rounds with the flat stick. 15th overall, though, coming in 4th on approach and 2nd in opportunities gained. He's given himself all the chances in the world. Eventually, we just got to hope he can convert them. Maybe it's this week. We're going to be playing him to find out, that's for sure. I mean, $7,500, too cheap for Chez Reavie. 11.3% projected ownership. And that takes us to the SCHWAG bag. And I only have 3 SCHWAG bag plays this week. I told you I hate the low tier this week. I really don't want to be in the $6,000 range. I only have 2 players I like down there. If I can cap my lineups at a $7,400 floor, I think that's what I'd prefer to do this week. All right, SCHWAG bag plays are under $7,500 in DraftKings pricing. The first SCHWAG bag play, and really the only one I want to play out of the SCHWAG bag, is Mr. Scott Stallings, $7,400 price tag, 14% projected ownership, so the ownership's there. But Stallings, I mean, great ball striker for this price tag, coming in 7th overall in the custom model, 8th on that par 4 range, 400 to 450 yards, 10th on approach, 16th in opportunities gained, just has been making nothing, 89th with the putter, and as a result, 107th in birdies or better gained, but the ball striking's been phenomenal. Hello, Miss Kitty. My cat came to say hi. The ball striking's been phenomenal, and for that reason, I can totally justify a $7,400 price tag for Stallings. 14% projected ownership. Yeah, he's getting a little bit chalky, but Again, I really don't like much down here in the SCHWAG bag. We're going to have to save money somewhere, so Scott Stallings looks like a great option to do so. If you really need to dip down, I got a couple guys for you. One being Danny Lee, $6,700 price tag, 3.1% projected ownership. It's going to be a complete crapshoot. He's either going to gain tons of strokes through approach or lose a ton through approach. It's sort of like the upside is really good at this price tag, but he's likely to massively disappoint you. And the course history is hysterical for him, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Yeah, he was cut in 2019, disqualified in 2018, withdrew in 2017, didn't play the event in 2016, but came tied for third in 2015. So that's basically what you're looking at with Danny Lee. It's a complete crapshoot. Sometimes he shows up with the irons, and he really flashes with the irons when he does show up. And other times he's absolutely pathetic or injured, or both, some combination of both. So it's a total crapshoot, but at 3.1% projected ownership, if you have to save money, he's a guy with some upside. And the last SCHWAG bag play is Cameron Percy, also at a $6,700 price tag, 2.1% projected ownership. Coming in 30th in the custom model, 111th with the putter, and I mean, that's just the story. He's 11th on approach and first in opportunities gained in this field over the last 12 measured rounds. Again, we're looking for putting luck this week, so if Cameron Percy can get some putting luck this week, he is definitely going to pay off this $6,700 price tag and only 2.1% projected ownership, so tons of leverage against the field if you do dig down this deep. But again, guys, I like the balance build this week. I'm going to be building a lot of my lineups with mostly players out of the mid-shelf. Try and finish them off as low as Scott Stallings at $7,400, so just barely dipping into the SCHWAG bag. But hey, you guys take whatever strategy you want to take. I mean, you guys are the ones fucking winning all this money on Draftkings. Again, shout out Adam for that sixth place finish in the single entry, high stakes single entry. That's fucking amazing. So you guys take this information, form it however you want to, make your final decisions. I wish you the best of luck this week building your bankroll at the John Deere so that we can go into the Open Championship ready to motherfucking roll, because that's the goal, dogs. ACG crew, you already know what it is. I love you. I'm out. Peace.